our East LA Paranormal Conference coming up on April 12th, and that's going to be held at East LA College, and that's actually going to be held during the week on Thursday. Unfortunately, we weren't able to secure a Saturday for that event. Obviously, it's a college, so we were only able to have it on a weekday. But the college did reach out to Don and myself to put something together for them. There's going to be 2 other college campuses there in attendance, which is Cerritos College and Rio Hondo College. We've got all the information up for everybody to be there. We've got many teams there that are going to be helping us out, graciously helping us out to do presentations there. So that's going to be an awesome event. Hopefully everybody can make it to that. Let's see what else we got. We got the Don Shai Memorial, which is not really so much of a paranormal event or conference, but obviously a tribute to our dear friend coming up March 31st. We also have we were talking previously about the Casa del Mexicano, about having another event there, and I was talking to Don last night about this. We finally got an okay to have this event there on the weekend that we wanted. It took a while. They've been going through a lot of issues there as far as being able to have events, but they finally got the or felt they were able to have the event. So they called me yesterday and told us that they really wanted us to have the event there that we wanted to have. So we're going to be working on that. Don and I are going to be working on hopefully setting that up. We've got there's so much stuff coming up this month in April. March we have that UMA event with OCPS and NOPS as well.
That's May.
May. In May, right. So we're going to see if we can try and fit that in within the next 2 months to have an event there to raise some money for our dear friend Don Shai, and as well as with the Casa Mexicano, because they're still struggling to keep that place open. And I talked to the president, Martha, last night, and she was expressing to me that she really would like our help in having another event there to help raise some money.
Oh, that's
and
great.
They're very happy to actually host the event there for Don Shai as well, that we were originally planning.
Very good. Yeah, we had a good time at the very first conference. It was a really good turnout, and it was a nice open space to explore. And did you actually didn't Peter James also go to Casa del Mexicano? I'm saying it wrong, but
yeah, Peter did investigate Casa del Mexicano. I want to say this was 2002 that he was there. I had first found out about the Casa Mexicano having some activity, and I went there on my own, explored the place, took some pictures, actually caught some really cool anomalies there, and decided to set up an investigation there. And on our very first investigation, we brought Peter James. In fact, I talked to Peter and I said, "Hey, Peter, I got this location that seems to have a lot of activity. I'm told that there's possibly some catacombs that are that are down underground that stem from the basement of the Casa del Mexicano." So he was very excited about going there, and we took him there. We were there for a couple hours. He did explore the outside, came inside, walked around, and gave us. In fact, this is funny. We had a caretaker that had been working there for about 25, 30 years, older gentleman, and he was walking with us as Peter was giving his impressions. Peter picked up on a doctor that had worked there many, many years ago, gave us a name, and told us some of the things that this doctor did to help in the community, and the caretaker was just shocked that he knew this. He turned to me and told me in Spanish, he's like, "How does he know this? Nobody knows that." And I said,
He's
you
Peter
don't know who
James.
Peter James is. I said, but he's he's a psychic that, obviously has been around for a while and is a very repeated psychic. So, he encountered, I think it was a total of 7 entities at the Casa del Mexicano. But that was a really cool experience to take him there that night.
Probably fraudulently say, "Oh, I've been mentored under Peter James." There's a lot of people that have made that claim. did Peter James have a lot of people he mentored, or at all, or?
Well, actually, you know what, Frank, why don't you just come out and tell us what we really want to hear and what the truth is about Mike Loop saying that he was mentored under Peter James, and why don't you tell us exactly what Peter James told you, okay? So let's not beat around the bush about it.
All right, we won't beat around the bush about it. Okay.
I thought we were starting the drama show next time.
Well, first of all, many of you might not know this, but Mike Loop was actually part of my former team, SESPR, many years ago. In fact, he was with the team a short span, maybe about 6 months. And when I knew Mike Loop and I got a chance to investigate with him, he did not claim to be psychic or have any type of mediumship abilities whatsoever. In fact, what he liked doing was just snapping photos, and that was basically it. What happened was there was an event that Peter James was having. I want to say this is back in 2004, maybe 2005. Peter was having a media event at the Queen Mary. He had Channel 4, I believe, was there doing a media event with him at the Queen Mary, because Peter was doing all his. That was the time when Peter was doing all his tours there. I was there with my former team, and apparently Mike Loop was there, which I didn't know he was there. I hadn't seen him. And Mike Loop had snuck into the or was it the one of the I think it was a Royal Theater is where Peter was doing the filming. He had snuck in there and was basically trying to take the attention away from Peter's media event. In fact, calling over the camera that basically was spotlighting Peter to basically show some pictures that he had taken aboard the Queen Mary and say, "Hey guys, look what I have. You know, I took these pictures here." And Peter was there, was very, very upset that Mike Loop had done this. And I found out later that night about that this actually took place. Peter pulled me aside and told me and said, "Hey, who is this guy? Who is this Mike Loop? I'm very upset that he would sneak in, first of all, into the Royal Theater and try and take basically the spotlight away from me, you know, to show some pictures that he had, you know, of some orbs or whatever he had captured, you know, and doing this." So he was really upset over it and said, "I don't want anything to do with this guy. You know, who is he?" You know, so from that point on, you know, Peter did not like him at all. You know, from my understanding of what Peter told me, did not like him. And you know, as far as I know, and Peter and I were really close. I spoke to Peter at least once a week. He would call me and just to check up on me and ask me how I was doing, or would invite me and my former team over to the Queen Mary. But he never once mentioned that he would mentor Mike Loop whatsoever. And like I said, I knew Peter. I would speak to him at least once a week up to the time of his death, and never once did he mention that he would mentor him at all. You know, as far as I know, he never liked him from that point on, from what had happened that night, and never wanted anything to do with him. You know, Peter was a very humble man, and he spoke to anybody. You know, I know there's a picture of both of them together, but the thing is that Peter, whether he liked the person or not, would always take the time to talk to that person, and even if it was a photo or whatever it was, you know, even if he didn't like the person, Peter was just a friendly guy. You know, very humble, and he would, you know, talk to anybody, you know, and he would always try to make them feel like, you know, obviously like he liked them, you know, and you know, I think that's what happened. I think he decided just to run with it. Same thing with him claiming that he's a medium, that he's a psychic. You know, that just came out of nowhere. You know, I had no idea that he had those abilities. He never claimed to have those abilities, and you know, that just came out. So as far as I know, yes, Peter did not mentor him at all.
It's good to have that.
I only knew of a couple people. I only knew of a couple people that Peter mentored, and Peter would always mention them to myself and you know, and Lewis, and he would always say, "Hey guys, I have this guy here that I'm helping out, I'm mentoring. would you guys mind taking him along with you on investigations? And that would be the only person that comes to mind is a guy named Paul Rogers, that was a psychic, which you guys probably don't know, but he was the only other guy that as far as I know was that he mentored, and there was no one else. And like I said, as far as Mike Luke, he was not Peter's, or Peter was not his mentor.
Okay, that's good to have out there, because there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of people, it seems, want to get on TV shows and want to, build themselves up using the paranormal for some reason. And it seems like mostly the teams with integrity, mostly they're waiting for all these ghost shows to go away. Is that true to you, with you too?
Yeah, I agree. There's several people out there that we question, and he's one of them. And I've known him, like I said, a long time. I've known Mike a long time, but it was surprising for me to hear that he was a psychic medium, and especially when he claimed to be. First of all, he claimed to be a nationally renowned psychic medium, and then all of a sudden was internationally known. And the only other person that I knew that was internationally known was Peter James. Obviously, he had, he was on many TV shows, Sightings, and different other shows, and he was known around the world. He, in fact, did travel around the world and investigate many places. So to claim that you're internationally known is really going out on a limb, and just basically it's just bullshit on his part.
International man of mystery. let me ask you this about Luis Gonzalez. He's the one that founded your original group, right?
Yes, he this goes back to 2001 when I first met him. He did not have any members. He had founded the team on his own, the name. And I had met him through, I believe it was one of the forums on either Ghost Village or something like that. And we hooked up. We obviously had a lot of, we shared a lot of the same passion for the paranormal. So, we got along great. We hit it off from the bening.
What do you miss?
He just found the team. I became.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I became the co-founder shortly after that, and the co-director. And from there, we met Paul Major, who is still with the team. He became the other co-founder of the team. And over the years, we worked with many people, and a lot of people that left our group and started their own teams, which I felt very proud of that. I never held anything against them for that. Obviously he did. He held a grudge for a lot of people that decided to leave the team and start their own teams. I never did that. Aaron obviously being one of them, and Kirsten Thorne, Layla and Grant were part of SCSPR at one point, and they branched off and started their own team. LA Paranormal. And I felt good about that. Because when they first started, they were brand new to this, and we got a chance to help them out in the field and show them some places and teach them a few things, and they ran with it, and they started their own team. So I felt very proud of that. Unfortunately, he didn't. He was very upset at me for not feeling the same type of anger that he felt. Many times he would after that they would leave the team. He would call me and be like, "Why aren't you mad as I am? Why aren't you upset as I am? You should be mad that they left. They decided to leave our team, then good for them. They're starting their own team. This is what we want. We can't hold on to people. Obviously, this isn't a paying job for anybody. We can't hold on to people. So, my part, was great that I got a chance to, to give my 2 cents in their experiences and them learning, and them getting a chance to start their own team.